Matter of fact, she's not yours.
Oh, and it felt so good.
So you're saying you let it out of spite?
Because I hate when women do that, especially when
Then why'd
if
you
there's
do
a
it?
good
And Ms.
man-
Jones-
Because it felt good.
Listen,
But
you said it with the
it
look
felt
on your
good.
face like it was the...
And then after she was born, I was like, Mr. Mitchell, she looks just like you. I was like, she has your eyes, the same exact eye color.
But just because she has blue eyes and blonde hair doesn't mind. He had
Yes,
the same.
but my ex had light blue eyes. Jonathan has dark blue eyes.
Now you know that's just nasty. Ms. Holdhouse, how were you sneaking your mother's back with her boyfriend?
When she's not there, she left to go somewhere. Sometimes when she's sleeping.
The case of Portis versus Middlebrooks hits the courtroom stage, with Mr. Portis and his mom swinging into action for a DNA test, claiming the paternity drama is throwing a wrench in his life's engine without even knowing if he's the mechanic responsible for this particular model. Ava, when you think it's all laid out, the narrative turns unexpectedly.
Portis versus Middlebrook.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Mr. Portis, you and your mother have petitioned the court for a DNA test because you are certain you are not the father of the defendant's daughter, Ava.
Correct,
You
Your
say your life has been ruined and need today's paternity results.
Ms. Middlebrooks, clearly fed up with the paternity polka, lays down the law, insisting Mr. Portis should buckle up and take responsibility if the DNA dance shows he's the lead. This twist turns up the heat in the courtroom kitchen, laying out the recipe for the case's main dish. The intensity is about to ramp up, so brace yourself for the next revelation.
You say you are tired of the plaintiff's paternity denial, and you and your aunt claim he better step up once these results prove he's Ava's father. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Portis, explain to the court why today's results are so important.
This started about 2 years ago. I started paying child support, $75 for this baby, and I never knew if she was mine or not. We never took a DNA test. We tried to, but it didn't go through.
The plot thickens as Mr. Portis is found to have been dutifully doling out child support, sans DNA confirmation. This revelation stirs up a legal suit questioning the court's recipe for serving child support orders without a genetic garnish, spicing up the debate on the complexities simmering in the legal system's cauldron over paternity puzzles. And if you thought that was something, wait until you see what comes next.
We weren't talking at the time that she got pregnant. Like, we weren't talking. But when after the fact that she got pregnant, she had hit me up and was like, "Hey, I'm pregnant. Be prepared."
so wait,
for child
We were
support
definitely
and all this
together.
other
We were
stuff.
definitely together.
No,
I
we
called you after I got the text.
No, we weren't, because I found out that she had another boyfriend.
Okay,
I
wait.
was not
How did
together.
you find out she had another boyfriend?
Because I looked on her Facebook and I seen her with this dude. And I'm like, who is this? And then she like, somebody I used to talk to.
In a plot twist worthy of what the hell just happened, Ms. Middlebrooks' ex was at Ava's grand entrance to the world, not Mr. Portis. Yep, there's another chef in the potential daddy kitchen, making the paternity stew even thicker. You won't believe what happens next in this tangled tale.
You don't show at a month or two like that.
No, but what I want to understand is, were you at the birth, Mr. Portis?
No, I was not, Your Honor.
He had the opportunity to, but he wanted nothing to do with her.
Did you go to doctor's appointment?
No. He had nothing to do with the pregnancy.
Who was
She
with
wasn't communicating with my family at all. She wasn't talking to us or nothing like that.
I was not even
That's the
talking
only
to
time
my
she would
son.
talk to us.
Wow.
She would be
Who was
disrespectful.
with you
Texting my
at
mom.
the birth?
lying.
Hold on. Who was with you at the birth?
My ex
Middlebrook?
was. He stepped up.
Oh, wait.
But she
the
wasn't
ex
messing with
was
the
there?
ex, though.
Yeah.
A chinwag between Mr. Portis and the ex throws in a pinch of suspicion about who the real daddy-o is, stirring the pot further. Both gents are eyeing each other up, wondering if they're about to star in a real-life episode of Maury. The plot thickens even more, so stay tuned for what's coming.
They weren't
Honestly,
talking.
we weren't talking. She told me to stop talking to her, don't talk
And
to
you
them,
knew
stay
nothing
away.
until you got
Don't-
that summons, which is a year after Ava was born.
Correct.
So this child you've been paying child support for.
Only seen her 4 times in my life.
And I've never seen the baby. But I'm supposed to step up and be a grandmother.
I didn't ask you to step. I want Brian to
You
get the DNA
you
test.
you messaged my phone talking about
What-
well,
what
you're,
do I
you're
need
some
you
type
to
of
step
grandma
up
and
for?
this and that
What
and
do
the
I
other.
need?
In an unexpected twist, Ava starts selling lemonade to fund her own paternity test, showing she's got more sense and entrepreneurial spirit than the whole adult cast combined. Who knew paternity puzzles could inspire such business acumen in the Under 10 set? And believe me, you'll want to stick around for what's next.
That's a window for error. Jerome, I'm ready. These results were prepared by DNA Diagnostics and they read as follows. In the case of Portis versus Middle.
The ex, in a moment of questionable judgment, starts a blog detailing his side of the story, but it's mostly just bad poetry and conspiracy theories about aliens influencing paternity tests. It's quickly becoming the internet's favorite train wreck. Just when you thought it couldn't get more bizarre, wait for what's next. The DNA test results are revealed.
Comes to 2-year-old Ava Middlebrook. It has been determined by this court. You are the father. You are Ava's father.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Miss Jones and Miss Hernandez strut into the scene, armed with baby pictures and a determination to prove to Mr. Trevino that he's the daddy. The air is charged with drama, almost as if Maury himself had orchestrated their entrance, setting the tone for an episode filled with more twists than a daytime soap opera. And just when you think it can't get more dramatic, the next scene takes it up a notch.
Ms. Jones and Ms. Hernandez, you are each here today to prove to a man that he is the father of your children.
In a scene that could rival a telenovela, Miss Jones passionately confronts Mr. Trevino, accusing him of dodging daddy duties to little Cheryl. Mr. Trevino, caught off guard, fumbles for words, leading to a verbal tussle that's as heated as a reality TV kitchen showdown. The tension between them could cut through a Thanksgiving turkey, showcasing the complex salsa of their relationship. But hold on, the next revelation will leave you speechless.
He's denied her back and forth. He said, I'm not the father, I am the
I'm not
father.
denying. I'm simply requesting the truth, Your Honor. I'm not denying anybody, and I've been there for both of my
You have not been there.
My family and I have done a lot.
Keyword, your family. You are the father. Remember that. You have not been there.
So,
Mr. Trevino throws a curveball, questioning the timeline of Cheryl's conception, like he's suddenly become a calendar expert. This crucial moment turns the paternity puzzle into a full-blown math problem, with everyone anxiously awaiting the DNA test results, like the season finale of their favorite show. Just when you think you've seen it all, the story takes an even more unexpected turn.
You know, we went to the doctor. I asked him around what time did she get pregnant. He gave me around.
You don't even know what time because you're not right. So let me tell you.
So
He
hold
does
on,
not-
Mr. Trevino, you have an issue with the days of conception, and
Yes,
you
Your Honor.
submitted these days to the court.
Yes, Your Honor, I
To
have it.
outline, you went to a doctor's appointment at some point in June, around the 18th, and you're thinking back to that week in March, the estimated dates of conception.
Miss Jones drops a bombshell, admitting her spiteful claim to Mr. Trevino about not being the father was as regrettable as texting an ex at 2 a.m. This twist adds a dollop of emotional turmoil to the paternity saga, making us wonder if their story could be the next big hit on daytime TV, filled with misunderstandings, tears, and hopefully some reconciliation in the end. Just when you think it couldn't get any more jaw-dropping, the next scene will astonish you even further.
Why
It
would you
was
tell
wrong.
him that?
We was
It was
having a
wrong.
discussion. It turned into an argument, and right away he went down and gave me a low blow, and cause I was like, I've been doing this for you and been doing that, you know. And she said,
Honor.
I said, you know what? I've been doing all this for you and the
We've
baby.
been-
And
we
she's
were
probably not.
driving-
Matter of fact, she's not yours.
Oh,
And it felt so good.
so
If you
you're
don't-
saying you set it out of spite.
Because I hate when women do that, especially
Then why'd
if
you
there's
do
a
it?
good
And Ms.
man-
Jones-
Because it felt good.
Listen,
But
you
look,
said it with
it
the look
felt
on your
good.
face like it was.
The interaction between Miss Hernandez and Miss Jones brings to light the personal dynamics and accusations of interference in Mr. Trevino's relationships with his children. This segment emphasizes the broader implications of the paternity disputes on familial relationships. It's kind of like watching a telenovela, except nobody's running away to a remote villa in Spain. Yet, honestly, the drama is so thick you could cut it with a knife, or at least spread it on toast for a high-stakes breakfast. And just when you thought it couldn't escalate further, the upcoming revelation will leave you speechless.
She hinders a lot of the things. I can't come see Cheryl, our daughter, because Miss Hernandez doesn't want me to be around my daughter.
That he has with her.
I'm not interfering in him being a father. I am interfering in him being in a relationship with her.
I ain't
She
in
does
no
not. You don't need
relationship
to
with
be.
him.
Yes, you are.
If I'm
you
in a
don't need to
relationship
be
with
there
him,
with
I
him
would
all
have
the
called him.
time.
I don't
Really.
let him
That's
go.
a lie.
So then
And
why
he
can't
still
why
calls
can't you
me.
why can't you have him be alone with his?
Ms. Hernandez, it's your contention that you are not interfering.
No.
All right.
Mr. Trevino shares his doubts about being the father of Miss Hernandez's child due to her behavior and the presence of other men, which introduces another dimension of mistrust and suspicion to the episode. It's like Maury Povich meets Sherlock Holmes, with Mr. Trevino donning his detective hat and magnifying glass, trying to piece together the puzzle of his paternity amidst a sea of red herrings and missed curfews. And believe it or not, the saga continues to unfold in even more unpredictable ways next.
Yes, there's this one that he's kind of a light-skinned guy, kind of my skin color, you know, kind of
No,
hairy,
not even
beardy,
close.
you know, hairy guy. And my son has like a little bit on his back. You
Yeah,
understand?
of hair on his
Of hair
back.
on his back. And me,
I
very,
am Mexican.
I don't have anything. I
I'm
don't have
brother's
any hair on my
back. You
chest.
would know.
I barely have any hair on besides my face and my, you know.
Right. You see, child has a certain feature. See a guy
Just
that
one
has
feature that's not
maybe a
even-
similar quality. You're getting a little nervous. You start to
Yeah,
think you
I
put
start- well,
not necessarily 2 and 2 together, but maybe 6 and 7.
The mystery's solved. We've finally figured out Cheryl's DNA puzzle.
Thomas Trevino, Mr. Trevino, you are fathers. Now you seem relieved but not surprised in either circumstance.
The courtroom drama unfolds as Judge Lake introduces the juicy case of Lohman versus Mitchell, with Ms. Lohman anxiously waiting in her seat, fingers crossed, hoping her fiancé, Mr. Mitchell, turns out to be the daddy-o to her daughter, London. Mr. Mitchell, on the other hand, is sweating bullets, not just because he's doubting his fatherhood credentials, but because the future of him saying "I do" hangs precariously on what the DNA oracle has to say. You won't believe the twists and turns about to be revealed.
Hello, Your Honor.
Hello.
This is a case of Lohman versus Mitchell.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Lohman, you are in court today hoping and praying your fiancé, Mr. Mitchell, is the biological father of your daughter, London, and you and your mother are here to prove it. You say today's DNA results will determine the future of your family.
As Ms. Lohman and Mr. Mitchell dive into the saga of their relationship, which kicked off back in the hallowed halls of high school, we get a front row seat to their journey from being just pals to practically family, thanks to Mr. Mitchell moving in with Ms. Lohman's clan to escape his own domestic battlefield. Their love story blooms in the most unexpected garden, showing us that life, indeed, writes the most bizarre soap operas. This backstory is like peeking behind the curtain to see the Wizard of Oz, except in this case, it's the intricate web of relationships and family dynamics. And just when you thought it couldn't get more complex, the plot thickens.
Your Honor, when me and Jonathan got together, I was very happy. Got engaged January of last year, and if London is not to become Mr. Mitchell, then our wedding is going to be off, and that's going to, it's really going to upset me.
All right, and how is it affecting your relationship?
Me and Mr. Mitchell, we fight all the time about, me telling Mr. Mitchell that London is his, and he will tell me, no, I don't think she is.
But you've
Everything
also told him
points
that
to her.
she's not, so.
The tale of how these two lovebirds went from sharing homework to sharing heartbeats is heartwarmingly awkward, marked by a bold leap from the friend zone into uncharted romantic territories, even though Ms. Lohman was already playing the girlfriend role for someone else. Their secret love affair sprouted amidst this tangled web, setting up a love triangle more complex than a calculus problem. This pivotal chapter in their saga underscores the messy, tangled, and often comedic road that led them to the courthouse steps, questioning the paternity of their love child. The next revelation is going to take your breath away.
I let it continue, and we ended up having sex.
And so, Mr. Mitchell, do you remember when your feelings for Ms. Lohman changed from friend to more?
Yes, Your Honor.
So tell me about what you came to love about Ms. Lohman.
I loved how she did stuff. I liked how she cared for me whenever didn't have anybody that cared for me.
And she said you had a very tough childhood. Is that true, honey?
Yes, ma'am. I was abused. Had to do everything for my family. I raised my 3 sisters and my brother basically by myself. It was hard.
Ms. Lohman launches into a detailed account of the conception period, laying out her case for why Mr. Mitchell tops the paternity charts, based on the meticulous scheduling of their romantic rendezvous, contrasted sharply with the sporadic appearances of her ex. The judge, donning his skeptical hat, throws a wrench in the works by poking holes in Ms. Lohman's homemade paternity calculator, leading to a courtroom chuckle over the reliability of her love calendar.
Realized when you conceived, everything pointed to Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, Your Honor.
How do you tell him?
We were sitting at home, and I told him, I was like, there is a possibility that London could be yours, and because I looked at the dates. And then after she was born, I was like, Mr. Mitchell, she looks just like you. I was like, she has your eyes, the same exact eye color.
But just because she has blue eyes and blonde hair doesn't mind.
Yes, but my ex had light blue eyes. Jonathan has dark blue eyes. London has dark blue eyes.
We zoom in on Mr. Mitchell, who's emotionally invested in London. Not the city, but the child, with a paternity cloud looming over his head like London's famed fog. His love for London is as unwavering as a British guard, yet the nagging question of his biological ties to her dances around, adding a layer of complexity to his emotional waltz.
The paternity was in the very back of my mind.
How old was London when you proposed?
I was still pregnant with London.
Oh, you were still pregnant?
Yes, Your Honor.
But now you are engaged, but London's born. And now that London's born and you're looking at the feature, think it's Mr. Mitchell, but Mr. Mitchell and Miss Pummel, your cousin, you all starting to have doubt.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because of the fact that there was the overlapping, there was more than one person that was being slept with at the same time. I mean, they argue, and that has been said.
In a courtroom drama twist that rivals a daytime TV show, the gavel drops with a verdict that's more surprising than finding a double rainbow on a rainy day.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Mitchell, you are not the father.
The case Holthouse, Veer, Shinwald, and Bogardus kicks off, with Judge Lake at the helm, looking like he's ready for anything but this. Ms. Holthouse is on a mission to pin down the paternity of her 3-month-old Zayden, amidst circumstances so shocking they could make a soap opera blush. You won't want to miss what's coming next.
This is a case of Holthouse versus Shinwald and Bogardus.
Thank you, Jerome. Good day, everyone. Ms. Holthouse, you are here to prove paternity of your 3-month-old son, Zayden.
In a twist no one saw coming, Ms. Holthouse drops a bombshell that her baby daddy drama involves either her ex, who's as disinterested as a cat in a knitting convention, or her mom's boyfriend, Mr. Shinwald, causing the audience to groan like they're watching their favorite character make a bad decision in slow motion. But hold on, the roller coaster is just beginning.
Shockingly, you confess it's either a man you shared a sexual relationship with who wants nothing to do with your child, or the defendant who happens to be your mother's boyfriend. Now, Mr. Chenault, you are Ms. Holthouse's mother's boyfriend.
Yes, Your Honor.
Though you admit you were intimate with your girlfriend's daughter, you say you strongly doubt you fathered her child.
Yes, Your Honor.
So Ms. Holthouse's mother is waiting outside the courtroom, and I'm...
Just when you thought it couldn't get any more twisted, Mr. Shinwald, in a plot twist worthy of a daytime Emmy, admits to a scandalous relationship with Ms. Holthouse, sparked by a text so wrong and so misspelled it could have been autocorrect's masterpiece, leading to a series of oops that redefine awkward family dinners. And just when you think you've seen it all, there's more.
It started out as a text message, Your Honor. I received it wasn't supposed to come to me, and a word was misspelled. It was a word. A few days later, she had on tight clothing, little skirt, breast out, and next thing you know, one thing led to another. We started flirting with each other back and forth.
Did you ever think in your mind this is inappropriate?
Right when you're trying to catch your breath, Ms. Holthouse spills the beans, admitting the whole messy saga with Mr. Shinwald kicked off with a misdirected text that, despite her mom being in the same zip code, snuck through enemy lines and landed right in his inbox. This sparked a chain reaction of cringeworthy choices and steamy escapades that took everyone, and I mean everyone, by surprise, including the neighbor's dog, who's seen a lot but never this. But wait, there's a twist you won't see coming.
It was meant for him, but my mom was sitting right beside me when I texted him that. So I was asking him when he's gonna come over.
Did you have any thoughts, intention about having a sexual relationship with your mother's boyfriend?
I had not really thought about it until I got a phone call from him. And he was talking about having sex and going somewhere. I snuck out of my grandma's house that night and we went to a park.
And what happened at the park?
We had sexual relations.
As if the story couldn't get any more sensational, the courtroom is agog as it's revealed Ms. Holthouse and Mr. Shinwald managed to carry on their secret rendezvous for 6 whole months right under the nose of Ms. Bogardus, her mom. The plot thickens when it turns out Ms. Bogardus was none the wiser until a misadventure involving a misplaced pair of underwear turned their world upside down, leading to an awkward family breakfast conversation nobody wanted to be part of. Believe me, you'll be glued to your seat for what happens next.
Now you know that's just nasty. Ms. Holthouse, how were you sneaking around behind your mother's back with her boyfriend? What were you doing?
We would just, when she's not there, she left to go somewhere. Sometimes when she's sleeping.
In her house?
Yes, Your Honor.
Enter Ms. Bogardus, the mother/unintentional third wheel, who marches into the courtroom with the kind of shocked expression usually reserved for discovering you're out of coffee on a Monday morning. She lays bare her turmoil upon uncovering the scandalous liaisons between her beau and her offspring, untangling the messy web of betrayal with the finesse of someone defusing a bomb with a hangover. But just when you think you've seen it all, the story takes an even wilder turn.
Her into the courtroom.
Watch your step going up.
Ma'am, we are discussing a very difficult situation. Mr. Chenault has been honest with this court. He's admitted he's been carrying on a sexual relationship with your daughter.
Just when you thought daytime TV couldn't get any crazier, in a twist that could only be described as a plot rejected by soap opera writers for being too far-fetched, it's disclosed that despite the love triangle, the paternity drama, and what I can only assume is an incredibly awkward shared Netflix account, Mr. Shinwald, Ms. Holthouse, and Ms. Bogardus are all bunking together. They're trying to stitch their relationship back together with the kind of rules that make board game instructions look like a breeze, all while navigating the domestic minefield that is their living situation. And if you think that's jaw-dropping, wait until you hear what happens in the courtroom next.
You all stay together.
Yes, ma'am.
You all live together.
Yes, Your Honor.
And you two are trying to work on and save your relationship.
Yes, Your Honor. Well, there are rules laid down for me and Miss Holthouse, her daughter. We're not allowed to be in the same room together. We're not allowed to talk or text each other. We're not supposed to really even be around each other. And if we are in the same room together, she turns down the TV so she can hear the conversations that we're having.
Hold on. You all got all these ground rules. You're orbiting around one another in this house, so you have no contact.
Judge Lake, in a moment of inspired judicial initial creativity, suggest a lie detector test to suss out whether Ms. Holthouse and Mr. Shinwald have been keeping their frisky business going. Both of them refuse faster than a cat dodging a bath, throwing some serious side-eye and adding a whole new layer of yeah right to their stories.
It sure would calm your wife-to-be fears if you pass that, and maybe this relationship could move forward like you want it to. Are we willing to consent to the lie detector test on the question of whether or not you all are still sleeping together?
No, Your Honor, I won't.
I'm sorry?
No, Your Honor, I won't.
The DNA test results drop like a bomb in the courtroom, revealing
Mr. Chenault, it has been determined by this court. You are not a spouse.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I can hear you breathe a sigh of relief, Ms. Bogardus.
I do think that we all need counseling.